After its initial use for gladiatorial games and public spectacles, the Colosseum's role began to change during the decline of the Western Roman Empire in the 5th century AD. By the early medieval period, the Colosseum had ceased to be the venue for public entertainment. The fall of the Roman Empire in the 5th century, combined with the rise of Christianity, brought about a decline in the popularity of the brutal spectacles that once took place in the Colosseum. By the late medieval period, the Colosseum had fallen into disrepair. Earthquakes in 847 AD and 1231 AD caused significant damage, which led to parts of the structure collapsing. Much of the stonework and marble were looted or repurposed for new construction projects throughout Rome. Over time, the Colosseum was no longer maintained as a venue for events, but was instead used for a variety of purposes, including housing, workshops, and even as a Christian pilgrimage site. In the 12th century, the Colosseum came to be associated with the martyrdom of Christians. While there is limited historical evidence to confirm that early Christians were executed in the arena, the building became a symbol of their suffering and sacrifice, and the Colosseum began to attract Christian pilgrims. Throughout the Middle Ages, the Colosseum was used as a fortress, particularly by noble families who took advantage of its fortifications. During the Renaissance and Baroque periods, the Colosseum was mostly neglected, though it did inspire artists and architects. It was during this time that the Colosseum's reputation as a monument to Rome's ancient greatness started to grow, sparking interest among European scholars and visitors. In the 18th century, the Colosseum gained further significance when Pope Benedict XIV declared it a Christian site where a Via Crucis, Way of the Cross, was established to commemorate the Passion of Christ. This move contributed to the Colosseum's association with martyrdom and lent it a new layer of cultural and religious importance. The Colosseum's fortunes began to change during the 19th century, particularly after the Italian unification in the 1860s. The new Italian government undertook significant restoration efforts to preserve the Colosseum as a national monument. These restoration projects helped to stabilize the structure and halted further deterioration. However, parts of the Colosseum continued to be used as a source of building materials until the early 20th century. In the 20th century, the Colosseum became a symbol of the ancient Roman Empire, attracting tourists from around the world. It also became an enduring symbol of Rome's heritage and Italy's national identity. Efforts to preserve the Colosseum have been ongoing, with major conservation work taking place in recent decades to ensure that the structure remains intact for future generations. Today, the Colosseum is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and continues to serve as a focal point for both historical study and modern cultural significance. In addition to its cultural and historical importance, the Colosseum has also become a symbol of the fight against capital punishment. The building is often illuminated in different colors to mark significant events, such as when a death sentence is commuted to life imprisonment. This symbolic gesture began in the late 20th century as part of a global movement to advocate for the abolition of the death penalty. The Colosseum's rich and varied history, spanning from its construction in the 1st century AD to its modern-day status as one of the most visited landmarks in the world, reflects the changing dynamics of society, religion, and culture. Despite the ravages of time, the Colosseum remains an enduring reminder of ancient Rome's architectural brilliance and the cultural transformations that have occurred over the centuries. As we move further into the modern era, the Colosseum's role and significance continue to evolve, with both its physical preservation and symbolic meaning gaining even greater importance. In the 20th century, the Colosseum became one of the primary tourist attractions in Rome, drawing millions of visitors annually. Its fame spread far beyond Italy's borders, with tourists from all over the world coming to experience the grandeur of this ancient marvel. During this time, Italy made significant efforts to restore and protect the structure. While previous centuries had seen much of the Colosseum stripped of its materials and left in a state of ruin, the 1900s brought more systematic conservation projects. These efforts were necessary to stabilize the building and prevent further deterioration due to factors such as pollution, weathering, and the sheer volume of foot traffic. The Colosseum became a symbol of not just Rome, but of Italy itself, representing the legacy of the Roman Empire and the rich cultural heritage of the nation. In the years following World War II, Italy's national identity was also shaped by the Colosseum, which served as a reminder of the ancient civilization's lasting impact on the Western world. The building's use as a symbol of cultural and historical continuity reached its peak during the 21st century. The Colosseum became central to Italy's tourism industry, often featured in promotional materials, films, and documentaries about ancient Rome. Its status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site further cemented its position as a global cultural treasure. Furthermore, the Colosseum has been integrated into international discussions about the preservation of cultural heritage. Italy has worked alongside global organizations to protect and maintain the structure, ensuring that future generations can appreciate its beauty and historical significance. In recent decades, the Colosseum has also been a focal point for campaigns against the death penalty. The symbolic lighting of the Colosseum, which started in 2000, has been used to mark events related to the fight for abolition. Whenever a country abolishes the death penalty or when there is a significant reduction in capital punishment, the Colosseum is illuminated in a special color, such as gold, as a gesture of solidarity with the movement. This practice continues to this day, using the Colosseum as a global stage for social and political causes related to human rights. As of the 21st century, significant steps have been taken toward the Colosseum's preservation and restoration. In 2013, the Italian government launched an ambitious €25 million restoration project to further stabilize the structure, address pollution-related damage, and conserve the intricate details of its architecture. In addition to these preservation efforts, the Colosseum continues to host educational programs, exhibitions, and events, providing visitors with deeper insights into the history of ancient Rome, gladiatorial combat, and Roman culture. These efforts aim to strike a balance between maintaining the authenticity of the monument while also making it accessible to the public. In the present day, the Colosseum is not only a powerful symbol of Rome and the ancient world, but also a vital part of the modern city's identity. It stands as a testament to Roman architectural and engineering prowess, as well as a cultural and historical beacon for Italy. As it faces the challenges of time, climate change, and the increasing pressures of tourism, the Colosseum's continued preservation will remain a priority for Italy and the international community. Through its long and varied history, the Colosseum has transformed from an arena of blood and spectacle to a global symbol of history, culture, and resilience. Today, it stands as one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world and continues to captivate the imagination of visitors from all corners of the globe. Its enduring legacy serves not only as a monument to ancient Rome, but as a reminder of the lessons of history, the importance of cultural preservation, and the shared human experience across time. As the Colosseum continues to stand at the heart of Rome, its role in the modern world is increasingly multifaceted, with ongoing restoration and conservation projects ensuring its longevity while adapting it to contemporary needs. Over the past few decades, the Italian government and various international bodies have worked together on a series of initiatives to address the challenges posed by both the passage of time and modern issues such as pollution, overcrowding, and the effects of climate change. One of the most significant recent developments has been the ongoing restoration of the Colosseum's interior. Efforts have focused on restoring the arena floor, where gladiatorial combat and other events took place. In 2014, work began to reconstruct the arena floor, using modern materials to mimic the original design. The goal was not only to restore the physical appearance of the Colosseum, but also to enhance the visitor experience by providing a better understanding of how the space was used during the height of the Roman Empire. This restoration has allowed for exhibitions, including reenactments and educational programs that give visitors a vivid sense of the Colosseum's role in Roman society. In addition to this, the Colosseum has also benefited from technological advances that have allowed for more efficient conservation work. Advanced imaging techniques, such as laser scanning and 3D modeling, have been employed to map out every inch of the structure, helping restoration teams identify areas of weakness or structural instability. These technologies have allowed experts to carry out non-invasive studies to track the condition of the Colosseum over time, which is especially important given the volume of tourists who visit the site each year. As tourism continues to grow, there has been an increasing focus on sustainable tourism practices to ensure the Colosseum's preservation for future generations. In 2020, the Colosseum implemented new measures to limit the number of visitors at any given time, aiming to reduce the impact of heavy foot traffic. Visitors are now required to book their tickets in advance for scheduled time slots, allowing for a more controlled flow of tourists throughout the day. This system helps reduce the stress on the monument and ensures that visitors can experience the Colosseum without compromising its integrity. The Colosseum's continued relevance is also evident in its role as a cultural hub. It serves as a venue for various educational initiatives, exhibitions, and conferences that explore the ancient world, Roman history, and the significance of the Colosseum itself. Educational programs aimed at young students help connect the past with the present, allowing future generations to learn about ancient Roman society and the architectural marvels that have shaped the modern world. The Colosseum's importance as a cultural asset is also highlighted by its inclusion in global discussions about cultural heritage and its significance as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Moreover, the Colosseum remains a key symbol of Italian identity, resonating deeply with national pride and cultural heritage. It is often used in promotional materials to represent Italy's rich historical and artistic legacy, not just in tourism, but also in national and international media. The image of the Colosseum is also frequently used in films, documentaries, and advertisements, underscoring its status as one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world. The Colosseum also continues to serve as an enduring symbol of human endurance, history, and the complex legacies of past civilizations. In times of political or social upheaval, the Colosseum has frequently been illuminated in different colors to mark significant events such as peace treaties, human rights celebrations, and campaigns for the abolition of the death penalty. These symbolic gestures demonstrate how the Colosseum has transcended its original purpose as an entertainment venue to become a powerful metaphor for the broader themes of humanity, justice, and the ongoing struggle for rights and freedoms. In terms of its future, the Colosseum's preservation will remain a priority. Challenges such as the growing impact of climate change, pollution, and the need for continuous structural monitoring mean that the Colosseum's caretakers must adapt constantly to ensure its protection. The continued involvement of international experts and the use of advanced technology will likely play an increasingly vital role in these efforts. As one of the most visited monuments in the world, its sustainability will be closely tied to the responsibility of visitors, the Italian authorities, and global heritage organizations to respect and protect this unique cultural treasure. Ultimately, the Colosseum is not just an archaeological site, but a living symbol of human civilization. It represents the heights of ancient engineering and the dark side of entertainment in the Roman Empire, but it also serves as a reflection of resilience and adaptation over the centuries. Whether as a symbol of Rome's imperial past, a site of modern-day remembrance for martyrs, or a beacon for the preservation of cultural heritage, the Colosseum's future remains as remarkable and significant as its past.